Hi, Quil here, and this is my camera story. I got my first camera as a gift back in the early 1970s, and it was the Kodak Pocket Instamatic with a 110 cartridge. And we were good friends, that camera and I. Here's a shot I took with it. But it didn't last too long. It lasted a couple of years maybe. And we went down to Cape Cod one time. Got a nice little picture of the dune. And here's the campsite right before I left the camera on the top of that car and drove off without it. And oh crap. Went back for it, rescued the film, but the camera was in like 4 pieces. So that was the end of that camera. My first digital camera was this little thing. I got this, well, I think I'm skipping a step here. Hold on. Yes. My next camera was this one. This is the Pentax. It's an SF10. And I actually broke down and bought an extra lens for it. I thought I was being smart. I spent way too much money for what I could afford. And I bought a good camera, thinking I was going to teach myself photography. I had fun with this camera. I never learned how to use it properly. Not really. I didn't have time. I was a full-time student and working full-time. So this was the 1980s, or late 70s, 1980s. I was still using it into the 90s. These pictures were from 1992. I was in Florida. Went down there for Worldcon and his Epcot Center and the launch of the Endeavor. So that camera served me well. I never really learned to use it, but it served me well. And then we get back into 1990s and I bought this thinking, oh boy, this is the CyberShot. The Sony CyberShot. It's a 3.2 megapixels, it says. And Mega Movie V. I never tried this with a video. I hated this camera. It never took a good picture for me. They were always oversaturated, too dark, or just grainy. And then it broke. Didn't work for very long. I actually don't have any pictures I want to show you from this camera because what few pictures I have were of my kitty cats or the inside of a computer. Don't need either one of those. No. So I tried getting this camera. This is the FujiFilm. And it's called a FinePix S. And this camera and I have never been friends. It has served me, not well, but it has served me. It's got the screen on the back, which is always covered with fingerprints. Very bad place for that. It's just a very awkward and inconvenient camera. This lens cap does not fit properly. It has to have this safety string on it because it keeps falling off. And if you turn it on, the lens pops forward, the cap pops off. Very inconvenient. And then it flip-flops all over the place and gets in the way. So I'm not really happy with this camera. It does take some pictures. I mean, I got some pictures from it. It takes good pictures. But they're glossies. Of course, I ordered glossy. That was stupid. But those came from that picture. This camera. And that pretty much brings us up to today. With the new camera. I really was not expecting to take pictures again or explore photography again, let alone cinematography. That wasn't even a word to me for a long time. This is going to be an adventure. I haven't seriously thought about even playing with a camera for more than 2 decades. I mean, I've taken some pictures, but I've not played with a camera just to experiment with it. So that's my camera story. Quil out.